What's good, everyone? It's your boy Nazi with another video for the channel. Welcome back to DMVSportsZone. And I got the one and only back on the live stream. Corey on the Warpath. How are you doing, bro? Appreciate you for coming on again.
Hey, appreciate you having me on again, bro. It's good to be here in the elite presence of one of the big four of the DMV Sports Zone, bro. It's always good to be on here.
Man, the jabs are starting already. But
you start.
I know I did.
You started this morning, so
that's fair.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot to talk about, hopefully within the next hour. But first and foremost, I want to get your thoughts on, because the last preseason game just happened last Saturday night. General thoughts on the preseason, some of the highlights, lowlights, some of the players that stood out, some of the players that did not stand out. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it doesn't really matter what I think anymore since they made the cuts to it. I thought that the preseason was lackluster. I wish I could have saw a little bit more from that defense, especially the starting defense. The third down, and you know how big I am on third downs and turnovers. I don't think the defense forced a turnover besides in that last game, but I think the starters did not force one turnover. I've been disappointed in Cole Holcomb, like I've told you. I know he's not learning a new position, but he looks lost out there. He looks more lost than Jamin Davis did coming into his first year. It's concerning with the pass rush outside of Montez Sweat. Who's going to step up? Is it going to be James Smith-Williams? Casey Toohill made the team too. So that's what I was looking at. My boy, William Bradley, the King. We knew he wasn't going to make the team, but they cut the King, man. Offensively, I was very impressed by, of course, number 8, Ryan Robinson. And I know we'll talk about that in a little bit too. But I was impressed by him. I think Han showed some flashes, kind of making me rethink my April take on him, but I'm going to hold that back. So I'm excited for him. Curtis Samuel actually was on the field, actually doing football stuff, being paid for being a football player. I know it's shocking, bro. Armani Rogers impressed me from how I kind of joked and said that, he won the Joe Clark Award. The Joe Clark Lean on Me Award, because that's what Carson was doing in that first game. And shout out to people if you haven't seen that movie. It's good. It's a good movie, Morgan Freeman in it. But I thought he played. I thought he did real well in the preseason and earned his spot today. And I don't know about Curtis Hodges, but I think that's just a numbers game. The cornerback room is garbage. We saw that Danny Johnson getting cooked like grandma's Christmas ham. And, I think for the most part, like it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't think preseason isn't a tell-all, do-all. I think 0-3, while it looks ugly on paper, at the end of the day, nobody's going to be talking about what you did in the preseason come October, or really come September 11th when they take on Jacksonville. But they'll point to the point like, we should have went out and got this guy. We should have went out and had this guy. So excuse me, it really doesn't matter at that point.
Shout out to LF in the chat and Dula as well. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the record thing. Of course, 0-3 doesn't really matter. The 0-16 Detroit Lions started off 4-0 in the preseason that year, so record-wise doesn't matter.
0-4 in their Super Bowl run, I'm pretty sure. So, it don't matter.
Yeah, but that being said, do not like what we saw of the defense the entire preseason, Corey. Especially the DB group. You mentioned Danny Johnson. I mean, even a guy like Percy Butler, who I thought would show some great signs in the preseason, all the way back in April when we drafted him. He didn't have the greatest preseasons as well. You talk about the linebacker group. Cole Holcomb, I mean, we've been going back and forth about this. You don't think he's as good as a lot of fans, or at least some in the fan base?
I think he's the most overhyped player on this team. I really do. I think if you take away I think if you take away the burgundy and gold colored glasses, right? you will see that Cole's not that good. Like he's not this elite linebacker that we want him to be. Like he's not that. I mean, he's good. Plus, you don't want a guy like that. You don't want him thinking. Just go and attack. And there's too much thinking going on in their defense, and you can see it on the back levels. There's not enough. There's more anticipation than just actually just going diagnosing and ramming in it. Like it was against Kansas City, right? And I called into 980. I was talking to Linnell Willingham, and I said, Linnell, Patrick Mahomes is going to beat you. Like we get this, right? Patrick Mahomes will beat you more oftentimes than not. And he was like, whoa, wait a minute, Corey, what are you talking about? He said, that's just loser. I said, no.
I mean, it kind of is.
He will win he will win battles against you. Mm-hmm. You need to make it happen. You need to make him feel uncomfortable. I'm not saying I will concede the fact that he will beat me eventually. I have to limit the times that he beats me, especially in the little minuscule times that you play him. Like, you know, it's basically what we've always done against Aaron Rodgers when he comes down here, right? Aaron Rodgers is going to beat you. But somehow, the last few times he's come to Washington, we have limited the damage that Aaron Rodgers has done. Our earthquake is going to knock down buildings. It's going to rack stuff up. But you make preventative measures. What did New Orleans do after Hurricane Katrina? They rebuilt up levees. They had an insurance plan. They knew, hey, we're on water. We're going to get flooded out, but we got to do to limit the damage. Washington's defense could not do that. The Commanders could not command any force to get to Patrick Mahomes. And that's where I don't like it. It was like we were sitting there and we were afraid of him. They weren't playing instinctual football, and that's what killed me. It was like they were scared and they were paralyzed, especially the linebackers and even in the middle of the secondary, the safeties. Bobby McCain should get an award for waking up in the morning. He wakes up in the morning and says, how am I going to screw up in this secondary every day? That's what he does. I'm convinced of it. He looks in the mirror and says, well, how are we going to F up this defense today? Let's go. Let's just do the Bob McCain. It's McCainin. That's exactly what you're doing. Right.
I mean, you hit it. You're spot on. I'm convinced that his salary went up a couple million off of the performance that he had against Jake Fromm. Yep. Which is not how it should be. That's not how things work.
Look, we got to stop here. We got to stop. We agreeing too much now. You ain't get me on here to agree with y'all.
Don't worry. There'll be some disagreement.
There'll be some disagreement. I know.
There'll be some disagreement.
I know. I'm waiting.
Be patient, my brother. Be patient.
I got my back pocket. I got my stuff written there. I got my notepads out. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, you touched on everything. The defense, even if you flip to the offensive side of things, everybody knows about Antonio Gibson and him fumbling, and all the issues that come with that. Although you did show some good things against second string guys as a receiver out of the backfield and in the slot and all that. But I think like the biggest issue on offense, and we can actually just dive right into this right now in terms of the 53-man roster cuts. If I can pull this up on my screen. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, so hold on 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. So you see what I see right now, right, Corey?
Yeah, you need to update Google Chrome too, bro. Got some updates waiting for you.
I'll try to. But okay, this is something that I don't know. I feel like it's kind of an underrated. I don't know what you want to call it. Storyline from the preseason. Man, I was disappointed in De'Ami Brown, bro. I don't know about you, but like even the last game where the coaches did everything in their power to give him as many reps as possible with the quarterback that he played with in college, right? As many reps as possible to show out, to show something. What did he show?
Nothing.
He had a couple of drops. he had one. I believe it was one nice catch before those first couple of drops.
Yeah, he was disappointing is a very light term to use for that. Like he wet the bed badly, especially that ball where Sam hit him right in the hand, and he had nobody around. He beat coverage. He beat the coverage. He beat that, and he had 6 points. That's your difference in that game against Baltimore. That and the Joey Sly missed field goal. That was your difference. That was the difference right there for you. And then he targeted 5 times, only had 2 receptions, and twice it was on third down. And again, I go back to my point. You got to get off the field. If you're defense, you got to get off the field on third down. And if you're on offense, you need to stay on the field on third downs. And he couldn't do that. I thought he was going to make the roster either way because he's a draft pick and maybe they see something in him. I haven't been very impressed with the wide receiver room because I don't know if the coaching is there, the experience. Like I don't think Drew Terrell is. He's not. It's his first time really being a position coach in the NFL. And then you have Jim Hostler, who has been a wide receivers coach. He's then the senior offensive assistant. But the receivers that he has produced outside of T.Y. Hilton, and I think T.Y. Hilton was already established. You go back and look at the track record. It's not a good track record in developing receivers and receiver talent. So it's more of part. It's kind of part of the course, though, with who's in that wide receiver room right now. Thank God for Terry. You think about it, the guys who are really making moves, Terry, Cam Sims at times, they weren't products of this wide receiver room. We've seen how Dax Milne, right? That he's been emerging, but is that just because of who he is? And it makes me concerned about the future of Jahan even getting started. It's a small concern. I think that Jahan's talent can it can supersede that. But yeah,
draft slot.
Yeah,
16th overall.
But Diami, he was disappointing, and people say I said he's gonna make the roster, and people were thinking like, well, you're saying he should. That's like you saying he should have. I said no, I didn't say he should have a roster. I said he's going to make this team. Like those are two different things. I thought Corn Elder was going to make this team, but he not. Yeah. Like, and that little boy said Corn is awesome, right? But apparently not for the Commanders.
Yeah, shouts out to Rep the District for joining us as well. Shouts out to you guys.
They set me up again this year. They gave me they keep on giving me the terrible positions, and I keep on swinging and missing.
You talking about with fantasy?
No, with their prediction show.
Oh yeah,
I had the cornerbacks.
I saw that.
I got 4 out of 6.
It's okay, Corey. It happens to even the best of us, So it's all good. But but I do want to get to some of the other positions as well. And I think another surprise for me was the tight end group, right? I don't know if I thought that they would keep Armani Rogers, although he did show, you mentioned this at the top of the show, he did show some good things the preseason, had a good connection to Carson Wentz, although Carson Wentz always targets his tight ends no matter who's out there on the field. It's just been a common theme for him when it comes to Indy and Philly as well. But is it just me, or is this not an indictment on Logan Thomas's health right now? Right? Like, do you think they kept 5 because they thought the quality of these players were just that good that they couldn't leave any of these players off the roster, or it's largely because Logan Thomas is not healthy yet? They're trying to get him, into the swing of things, but before then, they're trying to have a couple tight ends that could man his place. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think you're right there. I mean, you looked at it when he came back, he had a big old brace on his leg, looking like an offensive lineman. And this is kind of my fear with Chase Young, is that they may rush him back too soon. And I think they may be trying to rush Logan Thomas back because it's out of a need.
How soon is too soon for Chase
Young?
Soon?
To me, I was thinking Logan Thomas wouldn't be back before like week 3 or week 4. That's what I thought. I mean, I don't think Chase should be back before like week 6 or something because of just the necessary of the surgery, right? Curtis Hodges, I mean, he really didn't show me much this year. And what's up, Awesome? He didn't show me that much that I think deemed a roster spot, but they saw something else. I thought Armani, and there's a reason why you went out and got Kendall Blanton, the Horseman guy. You got him, Wolf, who got hurt. So there's a reason why you went out and got these tight ends. And I think it's more out of necessity that you have 5 tight ends. I have never seen in all my days a team keeping 5 tight ends. I've never. 3, 4, yes. 5? Come on now.
Yeah, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. All of them did play. All of them did at least either played or practice, had shown some good things, right? We're probably worthy of a roster spot, but at the end of the day, I agree with you. I mean, 5 tight ends. Yeah. I don't know. It's a little high.
Yeah, it's high. It's high. It's like my cholesterol. It's pretty doggone high. Yep.
Hopefully not for long though. Both ways, I should say. But in terms of another surprise on this team, well, I thought actually I shouldn't say surprise because when they released their first step chart, he was also off the full team roster. But running back Jonathan Williams over our guy, PG County's Jared Patterson. Thoughts on that? You think Jared Patterson potentially, I mentioned this in a tweet right after the cut, potentially could come back on the practice squad?
I think so. I think he could. I thought he ran pretty hard, especially in that Baltimore game. So, I mean, is there more value with Jonathan Williams that they see? And then, you're not afraid to lose Jared Patterson. And then I think it's also a plus, right? Brian Robinson's on this list. So are they not concerned about, his incident that happened on Sunday that much? Like he's on there, he's up there, and he's not on any like PUP list or any like was it INF list or something?
Yeah, NFI.
NFI, yeah. If they're not on, he's not on that list. So to me, it's seeming like he's going to be back in a few weeks to be, to be the starting tailback or the guy who gets the primary carry. So, I think that's a positive. But then again, we could see that this might be another publicity stunt by this team too, just to get them around it against the call. I don't put anything off with this team. I don't put anything off. It's part of the course. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just saying like it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And you thinking, I saw that look. You like, dang, he might have a point. He's like, he might have a good conspiracy theory. You saw that?
That was just something.
You were like,
that look could go both ways. That look could be for an interesting point that you made that I didn't think of. That point could also be for a point that's just a little out there.
We can talk about it. Yeah, a little out there. Okay, all right. Anything this team do is it sometimes can be a little out there.
Well, I mean, that's facts.
I don't have to, like I say, when you think with this team, like this is like with De'Ami Brown, right? Sometimes you can't think with common sense. You got to think like this team. You got to think, oh, he's a draft pick. This is the guy they picked in the 3rd round last year. They got to make this work. He's going to get a roster spot.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Is there not time, though, in between now and the start of the regular season for him to eventually be placed on the NFI list, I believe?
I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I'd be lying if I said yes or no, but I feel like you could probably slap him on there. Maybe you can't. Maybe you have to wait till, I guess, the cut period, and then maybe you can slap him on a list. So we'll see.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Quarterback, Heineke Wentz, that's how we assumed things would go, I feel like. Sam Howell showed some really good things the preseason, led the entire league passing yards in the preseason. Doesn't really matter. Take that for what it's worth, but he did show some good things, especially the last game. He had 280 yards passing touchdown. Did show some good things in the run game as well. So I mean, you think Sam Howell potentially could be the quarterback of the future here, or is he just going to be a backup and Carson Wentz is going to be the guy to look for?
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I would tell people to pump their brakes because they think this guy is going to be all world. He's going to be QB God. And I'm like, guys, calm down. Like, it's good to have like high expectations for this guy. It's like the Heineke hopers, right? Mm-hmm. They're like they've turned.
Or the Wentz hopers.
Yeah. Well, don't do that. Don't be disrespectful.
That's disrespectful.
That's very disrespectful. It's not a Wentz hoper. The man. See, you gonna.
I've seen some same fans who come around with Carson Wentz. The same fans that were trashing him 2 days before we traded for him.
Hey, that's true. I might have been one of those guys like that. I'm not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, I can joke and I know the value. The Colts were better with Carson Wentz. They were bad. They were.
What? Jairus Sports Takes was too afraid to put this bet down, but I want to put this bet down with somebody, Corey.
Go ahead.
Not you, then someone else.
Go ahead.
That the Colts are going to be better this year with Matt Ryan than they were last year. They're going to have a better record.
I'll take that.
Get into the playoffs.
I'll take that.
All right.
I'll take that.
All right.
I'll take that. I will take that with you.
Okay.
We'll disclose. We'll disclose what we need to do. Now they got to be. Now Matt Ryan's got to be the official starter and everything, right? Or this just overall.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm not going to count a game that the Colts won without him.
I don't see. It's just the thing. The same problems. I think you're going to see the same problems arise with Carson Wentz that you saw with Carson Wentz with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's a stone statue.
No, Matt Ryan led the.
Matt Ryan leaned on your boy. He leaned on your boy Patterson too a lot last year.
Or Taylor. Cordell Patterson and the Falcons. Yeah. My boy. I just get that now. I got that.
Your boy Patterson. He leaned on him a little bit. He leaned on. He like leaning.
Jabs. Yeah.
Leaning. Yeah. It's like, I mean, Lord, it was like shoot.
Leaning.
It's like a
Corey, this man's literally had nobody throw to minus Kyle Pitts, a rookie year Kyle Pitts, and he still led the Falcons to a 7.
Nobody to throw to. Who does that sound like? I'm trying to figure out.
Don't say it's Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz had Michael Pittman. He also had the best offensive weapon in the NFL last year, Jonathan Taylor in the backfield.
Okay.
Top 3 rush blocking line.
Nobody to throw to.
Some good tight ends.
Who is that? Who's that? That's right. Carson Wentz had nobody to throw to.
So are you telling me Cordero Patterson and Kyle Pitts are better than what Carson Wentz had last year for the Indianapolis Colts?
I didn't say that. Okay. I think receiving wise, yes, I would say that. Not as far as Jonathan Taylor goes, no.
Also, their offensive line was much, even with people saying, the Colts' offensive line was bad at pass blocking. The Falcons' offensive line was one of the worst, if not the worst in the league. The defense was also not. The defense was also not top 10, top 12 in scoring, I should say, like the Colts were last year. A lot of people forget that. But.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that the Jaguars beat the Bills down there in Jacksonville, but
no, it wasn't in a playoff clinching scenario.
But still, they went down there and lost, and no quarterback has won. No Indianapolis Colts quarterback has won.
Carson Wentz was brought in to be the answer. Carson Wentz was brought in to be the answer. He was brought in to be an improvement off of the 11-5 Philip Rivers, 39-year-old noodle-armed quarterback, about to retire quarterback. Rookie year Jonathan Taylor, rookie year Michael Pittman.
The locker room loved him. The locker room loved Carson Wentz. It's the coke addict owner who didn't want Carson Wentz.
Our owner is better?
I didn't say he's out of the picture for the most part. They ain't talking about.
Or is that?
Look, I'm just saying. Come on now. You know that was Ron's move.
All I'm saying.
All right. All I'm saying is Carson gonna be all right. And I need you to give Carson Wentz this same energy that you give other teams' quarterbacks and how they're gonna be goats and great and they're gonna win Super Bowls and everything. I'm not saying.
You want to get to that combo now? You want to get to that combo?
No, we got to touch on the defense still. I got a little axe to grind with this defensive roster, but okay. Okay, we can circle back around to it. We can circle back around to it. Yeah, you ain't going. I know this is your channel, but you ain't gonna do this to me. You're not gonna do this. You are not gonna set me up.
Yeah. Okay, Corey. Okay. All right. Lead the way, my guy. All right, with our defense, we got the defense up on the screen now. What is your axe to grind, Corey?
We run a nickel. We're running a nickel defense, right?
Yeah.
How in the ham sandwich is your initial 53 roster only have 4 cornerbacks?
You know what that screams to me, Corey? You're going to add to the position.
They're going to add to the position, yes. And you know what that also screams to me? Unpreparedness. That is unprepared. You knew you had a bunch of Jags backing up, probably high-level Jags in situation. Like, I mean, nothing in this quarterback room really screams out great. It screams out really good. Some of them sounded really good, but nobody's really great in that cornerback room. Like I call Kendall Fuller
is great.
Kendall Fuller is not. Oh my God!
He's great. He's not elite.
He's not great.
He is great.
He is
based off of last season. Based off of all the metrics.
The back
based off
end of the last season. Here we go.
He's top 10 quarterback last season.
Hold on. Pause. Real quick. Pause. And I agree with Jairus on this because I was looking at Pro Football Focus, and you compare him to some of the other cornerbacks that he's ranked ahead of, and they're scoring, and you're like, what in the world?
You know why? Because the second half of last season made up for the first half.
Well,
that counts.
He's creamer. He's half and half. That's all. I don't need.
I'd rather have half and half than a full season of terrible quarterback play.
I don't want a part-time cornerback. I want you to put together a full body of work. He's a part-time. 2020.
I didn't say he's elite. I said he was great.
He's not great. He's good.
He is great.
No, he's good. No, he's not. Stop. Great. Come on. Great. Oh, don't do that to me, Nati. Don't do it. Yes. And you're the one who said, don't lean on Pro Football Focus on stuff.
No, it's not just Pro Football Focus. The rankings of cornerbacks and stuff,
good.
They have him top 10, top 15.
He's good. He's not
very
great.
Good. Let's have a compromise.
Oh, gee. That's not a compromise. That's not a compromise. What are you talking about?
In between, good and great. In between,
he's very good. Oh, let's just say he's. You said very good, or you said very great?
Very good.
Okay, I'll do it then. There
you go.
He's slightly very good. There you go.
Slightly very good.
He's got to. You got to agree with me. He doesn't put together a whole season. That's what I mean.
Agree. Corey, he has his flaws, a lot of flaws. Yeah, I agree with you.
And that's not great.
In today's NFL, this is what a lot of people forget. Cornerbacks are just not what they were before, Corey.
I get that.
Jalen Ramsey got burnt in the NFC Championship
game. You tell me we got a man corner, but we playing him in zone all the time, too. One of the best man corners in Willie Jackson 3 sticks.
I know. And I still believe in Willie Jackson.
Oh, I do, too. I believe in Willie Jackson. I believe in William Jackson, PI, pass interference.
All right. So we're supposed to accept this slander of our cornerbacks. Well, I can't talk objectively about Carson Wentz, the same guy that I was criticizing 2 days before he got traded.
Slander? What are you talking about? Slander?
That is slander, Mr. P.I.
Slander?
Oh my. Okay.
The only slander is when these guys go out there and get like Kendall Fuller. He going up against Mike Evans. Mike Evans still owes his mama child support for what he did that boy in the playoffs.
Okay, what about what happened to Jalen Ramsey?
They won a Super Bowl though.
Oh, you know why? Thank you. You set yourself up for this one. No, because of Matt Stafford at quarterback. They had the same defense the last couple of years. Same defense the last couple of years. Matt Stafford was a difference.
They added Odell Beckham.
Corey, you skirted this conversation.
They added Odell Beckham.
They skirted this conversation for long enough. We're talking about Matt Stafford.
No, we're not.
We're talking about Matt Stafford. Yes, we are. An elite quarterback. Tell me why Matt Stafford is not an elite quarterback.
He's great.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tell me why he's not a very exact. Whoa.
He's great.
Okay. All right. So let's break it down.
He's good. He's very good. There we go. He's very good.
So now you're gonna use.
He's very good.
All right. Okay. Give me. Let's break it down like this. Give me your elite quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady.
lies. Where's Allen?
He's that second tier.
Oh my gosh.
He's probably
same Allen.
He's second tier.
Allen.
He is on the precipice of it. I told you my qualifier for this. He's got to give me hardware. Like you have to bring some jewelry to the party. Whether he's an MVP, or
he was in the MVP race this year and last year.
He was in the MVP race. He was in the MVP race, right? But he did not win MVP. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He did not win MVP. He's not elite just yet. That's all I'm telling you, bro. I'm not saying I love Josh Allen. But you're not going to make me a demon because I think, he's great. He's doing things. He's got to take that next step for me.
He did. Last playoffs was his next step.
No, he didn't.
27 for 37, 329 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 68 yards on the ground.
He scored
toe to toe. If not, he
scored too fast. You gotta know. You gotta know. You gotta have situational awareness, brother. Coulda, shouldas, and wouldas. If ands and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. And if there's a fifth, you know what we'd be too. Hello.
Josh Allen is an elite quarterback.
He's
I will not take this slander of Josh Allen. He is an elite quarterback.
He's on the cusp.
My 4 elite quarterbacks are guys that even today, with a guy like Tom Brady, even today, these guys can carry your team to wins if everything.
We didn't even know who Gabriel Davis was until he showed up in the play.
No, until Josh Allen. Until he showed up in the playoff. No. Until Josh Allen did some magic.
Okay. Whatever. He's not elite yet. I don't care what you say. He is in a tier of his own. Like he is a second. To me, he's the second tier. Like he is a second tier quarterback.
Second tier. Okay, who else are your second tier quarterbacks right now?
Just really him right now.
Okay, I guess that's fair because
he's in a class of his own. Like I think that's what you don't realize. Like I want him to be elite. I want to say
he is elite, Corey.
He's not elite yet. He's got elite skills. He is not elite. Just because I drive a top deck souped up car and it's the fastest car in the world doesn't mean I'm going to win in a race all the time, right?
It was a souped up car last year that he had around him in Buffalo on offense.
I'm just saying. Wait a minute. Hold on. Just because I have a souped up car doesn't mean I'm always winning the races. It doesn't make me an elite driver.
Did I say he was better than Aaron Rodgers or Brady? I'm saying he's an elite quarterback. He deserves to be in that.
He's not an elite quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback yet, Nati. If he wins the Super Bowl, goes out here and knocks heads around.
It's not. Corey.
If he wins the MVP, he's elite.
So Lamar Jackson's elite. I got you.
He can be elite. He can be elite.
Oh my!
He can be elite.
This feels like a case brief at law school. Can be elite.
He can be.
Oh my!
See, you're not gonna see. He can be. There's qualifiers for eliteness. You got to check off this stuff. Like he's got everything. He's got the arm talent. He's got the regular season accolades, right?
Talking about Lamar Jackson here, right?
No, I'm talking about Lamar Jackson. I'm talking about Josh Allen.
No, but Josh Allen showed more things in the playoffs than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. It's fair. It is fair. And he has beat Lamar head to head.
I love Lamar, but yeah.
I love Lamar too. I love Josh Allen, but he's not elite yet. I mean, we can go back and forth on this.
You just said he has to win an MVP to be elite. Okay,
no, I said he has to give me some hardware. I said that. I said give me something. Either a MVP trophy, give me a Super Bowl. He didn't have to be the MVP. He just didn't win a Super Bowl. He didn't have to be
Lamar's an MVP. He was elite for at least 2019, 2020. He was elite.
Yeah, he was. It was elite.
Okay, so why can't
he's not elite, but he's not elite yet. He doesn't check the qualifier off.
Corey.
I'm telling you, like, what I'm trying to tell you, like, his eliteness, he's one step away from eliteness. He is one step away from eliteness. That's not, and it's not taking away what he is as a quarterback.
You know who's in the tier below the elite guys that we mentioned? Matt Stafford.
He's like 2 tiers down.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He's 2 tiers down.
Disrespect of the Super Bowl champion, Matt Stafford. Still,
oh my gosh!
Haven't you learned your lesson, Corey?
He's good. He's good. I told you it, man. I told you. Do I have to pull up my fantasy team that I won a championship with last year?
No. I understand you had him, okay? I had Kyler Murray. It has nothing to do with this conversation, Corey, because you were criticizing Matt Stafford.
But I criticized Matt Stafford, yes, but
I still told
him, man, he's a good quarterback.
No, he's not good.
He's a good quarterback.
He's
a
great,
good quarterback.
Corey. Stop disrespecting.
Did you say what? Did you say?
I said he's great.
Because
he's in my second tier. No,
he's a good quarterback.
No, he's great. He's in the same tier. I don't care what you say. He's the same tier as a Justin Herbert, a Lamar Jackson, an asterisk, right? Let's say Deshaun Watson returns back to what he was. Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, he's third-tier quarterback.
No, that's my second tier. And Joe Burrow, that's my second tier.
I know he's a third-tier quarterback. I got you.
That's tier number 2.
Yeah, that's my third tier because Josh Allen is in a tier on his own.
No, that's not how things work, bro. That's not how things work.
That's how we talking about.
Tom Brady could be in a tier on his own. He could be on a tier on his own because of the fact that he's a winner.
You gonna change the rules in the middle of a game?
Yes, sir. In the middle of this combo.
How you gonna do that? Like that's not right.
Nah, Matt Stafford is not good. He is great.
Oh, he's a good quarterback.
Stop it.
He's very good. He's a very good quarterback. I'll make the combines, but he's very good.
You talk about this defense and the weapons. Bro, they literally have the same weapons, same defense for the last, I don't know how many years. Really, since Sean McVay has been there. They never actually won a championship. Matt Stafford was the guy. He was the reason.
Jared Goff had Odell Beckham. Jared Goff had Odell Beckham in the playoffs.
Half a season, Odell Beckham.
Jared Goff had Odell Beckham in the playoffs.
Nobody who had Cooper Kupp. He had Aaron Donald.
Didn't have Cooper Kupp. Oh, so he had 1 target. Matt Stafford had 2. Okay.
No, you're not. Stop. You're trying to be slick. He had Brandon Cooks too.
Brandon Cooks, who's been all around the God and everywhere.
Stop it. This man is a 1,000-yard receiver every single season. No, Corey, stop it. He's a 1,000-yard receiver every season. He has found a home. Last couple years, he's been in Houston, still getting 1,000 yards with terrible quarterback play.
Houston. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh God.
No, he's still producing. Just because he's on Houston doesn't mean he's not producing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's producing on Houston. Okay, all right then.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Man, Corey, my God, how are you underrating a Josh Allen and Matt Stafford while simultaneously overrating Carson Wentz?
I'm not underrating him.
You said good. A good quarterback.
You said Josh Allen. I'm not underrating Josh Allen. Josh Allen's right where he needs to be. He's not elite yet.
Corey, you know what a good quarterback is? A good quarterback, G-O-O-D. A good quarterback, in my opinion, is like a Kirk. That's a good quarterback. That's a good quarterback. There's no way Matt Stafford's in the same tier.
He's more average. Kirk's more average. Average. He's a quarterback. Man. Derek Carr, good quarterback. Derek Carr's a good quarterback.
Oh, so you're putting Matt Stafford in the same. Oh my gosh, you're setting yourself up, Corey. You're putting Derek Carr in the same class as Matt Stafford?
I think if you put Derek Carr with the Rams, they still win the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I'll be honest with you. I really think that Derek Carr and Matt Stafford are cut from the same cloth. There you go.
Derek Carr is a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's a winner, unlike Kirk. And I agree with you there that he is a tier above Kirk, right? They provide you pretty much the same stats, but Derek Carr has that it factor, that clutchness. I get that.
Carson Wentz is like around that Kirk Cousins vein.
He's a tier below.
He's about right there with him.
Terrible.
Because you don't know, like,
Terrible.
you don't know what you're gonna get. Like, you can get really good games out of those guys. And they'll always say
Wentz's bad games are worse than Kirk's bad games. Now, I'm not talking about when Kirk was in DC. I'm talking about Kirk's Vikings bad games.
Yeah, and Kirk, I mean, even
and we don't like
Kurt's that I like Kurt. I thought they should have made a move to try to keep him in Washington, but at the end of the day,
you saw that video. That was one of the
and I thought you were on the pipe that day too. I could tell, but yeah, you were on the pipe that day.
No, it wasn't. Some of those facts.
Yeah, no, you were hitting. It was sprinkled with fact. It's like watching Fox News a little bit. It's got a little bit of fact, and then they blow it. It's kind of like Candace Owens denying climate change over there. I was like, I said, we went from the .com to the .org. Okay, yeah.
That was facts, Corey.
Stop it.
The fact that not only will we have mediocre quarterback play or not great quarterback play in DC for the foreseeable future, you couple that with a contract that would have crippled this team. You want to talk about us not going after a Matt Stafford or not paying big money for any other quarterback, and you want to pay big money for a Kirk? I'm good on that. One of the few good decisions that this team, at least in the last administration, made.
Then they didn't surround him with anything towards the end.
That's okay. They can both that what you said and I said can both be right. You know that, right? The fact that they let him go,
but you weren't.
But they didn't replace
saying
it.
that. But
I didn't say that.
Hold on. But it's like it's the same thing. It's like the same argument with Josh Allen, though. They can both be right. See, there we go. There you go. See, you set yourself up for that one.
What?
Counselor.
We're talking about quarterback classes.
I know, but still, it's the same thing. I see with Josh Allen. It's the same thing. We both can be right about him. You think he's elite? I think he's on the crust of being. He's at the doorstep of eliteness.
All I'm gonna say with Kirk to close things off with Kirk is
and you got yourself
he provided some good things. No. He did some good things in DC, but again, one of the few good things this past administration did in DC was not re-sign Kirk, because honestly, we would have been hampered by 7 or 8 wins every single season, while also being tied to what at that time was $28 million guaranteed, if not more, for Kirk Cousins per year. I'm good, bro. I'm good. The problem was they didn't adequately replace him. I think both those things can be true. That they didn't adequately replace him, that's a negative. Well, also,
I disagree. I think they adequately replaced him as a place marker with Alex Smith. But I'm just saying, you think about it. With Alex Smith, they started out 6-3.
Oh my gosh!
Hold on, come on now.
Mr. Checkdown was throwing picks, bro. That's how bad it was. Mr. Checkdown was throwing picks.
Hold on.
Look up his stats. Look up his stats in those.
How many games you worried about? See, you worried about. He was efficient with the ball. What in the world are you talking about?
Stop it.
He was throwing picks. He threw picks against Atlanta.
He was throwing picks, throwing errant passes. Yes.
And he was learning the offense too.
Oh, here we go with that. Learning the offense. Is that going to be our excuse for Carson Wentz this year? He's learning the offense. That's why he doesn't throw.
I mean, it's a real thing.
Look at his touchdown interception ratio.
10-5. 6-4 as a starter. Really 6-3 because they Houston game. He was efficient. Yeah. 62%.
No, he didn't throw that many touchdowns.
But they were winning games though.
No, because of the defense in the run game. Adrian Peterson, one of the most underrated players in franchise history. This man was running roughshod. You got the defense carrying as well. Like, stop. We got Alex Smith. I appreciate the stability you brought, but I think the reason why so many fans love his at least on the field play was because they knew nothing better. Because what Alex Smith brought was solid play, and for us, solid play is extraordinary because we're Washington. That's my thoughts on those situations.
No. It wasn't like I'm not heralding it as this great like guy, but he was adequate enough to replace.
We won despite
what was
him.
going. They would have won it. They would have won. They would have went to the playoffs. They would have went to the playoffs if Alex Smith had stayed healthy.
They would have went to the playoffs despite him.
They would have went. They would have kind of like with Matt Stafford. But it is what it is. But
you're telling me they won the Super Bowl despite Matt?
They really did. I mean,
oh my gosh, Corey! I thought you learned your lesson, bro.
Yeah,
I thought we had a couple months of vacation. A couple months to think about things since the Rams won.
But in my
Matt Stafford hoisting up the trophy. I thought.
It was this bastard that kept on coming in my DMs, throwing some Matt Stafford stuff up in there, and I had time to stew. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm like, that jackass, he's gonna make me mad. So, and who was it? Who do you know who this? Do you know who this jackwagon was? I ain't trying to put nobody business.
Very righteous jackwagon. Yes. He was just doing his part,
I'm cool with efficient check down Charlie. I don't need
that's my thing. Corey, I understand that point. And it's a very valid point.
And that's why
I'm not disagreeing with you.
That's why I said he's an adequate replacement.
But listen, Corey, my thing with Alex Smith is that what you just said about adequate check down guy, very decent quarterback. I think a lot of people forget that's Alex Smith with the Chiefs. When he was with our team, he was that, but also he was throwing the ball to the other team. Even when he came back in 2020, was doing the same thing. Everybody remembers the interception against the Cowboys.
Wait, hold on. You talking about bow-legged Alex Smith, who
the same guy that people kept saying, "Oh, we are 5-1 with him." Yes, I'm talking about.
They rallied around him. He was a good rally story.
We were winning in 2020 and 2018 despite Alex Smith, not because of him. And that's my thing. That's my biggest gripe. A lot of fans overrate our quarterbacks, and it's right. It's fair because we haven't really gotten.
I mean, I don't think I'm not overrating now. I'm just saying 6-4. Corey, go out and win the game.
You want to? Okay. I'm going to pull up his game logs. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. They're not going to look good, but I mean, you still winning.
It not only don't look good when we actually saw him play.
There we go.
A lot of us were pulling our hairs out. Remember that? Because I remember that.
I wasn't pulling my hair out on them. I remember looking on these message boards, and I'm like, these people are crazy. Let the man get comfortable in the offense. Let him do this. Let him learn the offense. Let me see.
Yeah. Very quickly. Yeah, okay. Corey, his best game might have been his first game. 255 yards.
Yeah, it was efficient against Arizona. He was very efficient, and a lot of those touchdown passes were probably less than 10 yards. But you mean to tell me the whole bottom fell out? The whole bottom fell from under the team after.
No.
Go ahead.
No, are you going to say that like when he became the starter, or sorry, finish your thought. My bad.
Yeah, I'm just like the whole bottom, to me, I think his value as a leader was more important than anything because it kept that team together, especially with all the mess that was going on in there. And you look. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Compared, to the other quarterbacks that were here. Yes, Alex Smith was the best quarterback that we've had since Kirk. Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay,
but that doesn't mean he was good. He wasn't good, bro. Like he just wasn't. Like it's not just the stats. You know me. It's not just the stats. Like watching both of us watching games every single week.
How many games?
Not great. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of his starts, he was sacked 3 or more times. 3 times. He was sacked 3 times. In 7. Yeah. Who got 7?
Was that not the same offensive line in 2018 that Kirk had in 2017?
Really? Yeah. Was that left side?
Trent.
Too? Trent. Who's the guard?
Morgan Moses, right side.
Who was the left guard? I can't think of who the left guard was at that time.
It was after Laval, right?
Yeah, it was after. It was way after Laval.
Who is it? Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
question.
see,
Good. Yeah.
I make some good points.
Brandon Sheriff, right card, but yeah.
Yeah, Brandon.
Either way, that's
Yeah.
pretty much the same offensive line, bro. It's pretty much the same offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the left cards were different. But
and then Trent, he'd miss a couple of games.
Oh my gosh.
Dope
Okay,
and
we're
stuff,
not. We're done. We're done with the slander of some great players, some elite players. But I do want to get to a couple more things before we sign off. But so we didn't even talk about this at the very beginning. But I do want your thoughts very quickly on like the Brian Robinson situation, and yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It sucks. I put and you put in this thumbnail, stop the violence. It's senseless. It's senseless violence. It's it's a bad look on the city, and it's the second time an NFL player's gotten shot in the DC area within the last 6 months. So it gives DC a bad name. And there's people rightfully so defending. Like people were talking about, like, hey, why was Brian out there? He's a human being. He can go out and do what he wants to. He wasn't out at night. It was 5:30 in the afternoon. He wasn't partying. I think he wanted to explore the area that he represents now, like that he wears on his road jersey in the front of his chest. He wants to experience Washington. And the fact that we had, and I could go on a whole thing about this and how I feel, but it's the people who were like so upset, like, oh, he's not going to be starting against Jacksonville. Who gives a crap? Like, I went back to Sean when I was 17 years old when Sean Taylor died. I remember it was like 5 days after my 17th birthday, and he got shot. And like they were talking about how grave it was, and my mind instantly went to that. Like that's the thing that I kind of was like, and I didn't really care. My buddy was sitting there talking to me about it. It's like, well, maybe Michael. I said, I don't care. I care about his livelihood. I care about his family. And anybody worried about, I think Brian Mitchell jumped on somebody who had tweeted at Adam Schefter's like, so does that mean I have to change my fantasy line? Like, F you, dude. Like, really, that's not even funny. And I'm the king of jokes. I'm the king of jokes. I'm always going to make jokes. And like Corey just said, he was going out there to get something to eat. And people, just because he had a sexy car, a fast car, a Josh Allen type car, these kids wanted to do something. Like, they want to do something like that. And it's just, I mean, it's awful, man. I'm sick to my stomach just even thinking about it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I haven't even Abdullah had a video up earlier in the week with his thoughts on the whole situation. I haven't even really shared mine, but I mean, I agree with you 100%. We got to stop the violence, man. Like, what are we doing? This is our city. This is our 3rd round pick, just named starting running back pretty much for our hometown team. They got shot less than 2 weeks before, our first game of the regular season. Like, what is going on? And you know why you didn't care about what he would bring on the field after he got shot or his fantasy? Because you're a good person, Corey. There are a lot of people on Twitter, no problem. But there are a lot of people, like you said, they didn't talk about that. Oh my gosh, what does this mean for the Washington Commanders running back situation? Oh my gosh, what does this mean for my fantasy team? Like you just said, like, bro, this is a human being, a 23-year-old we're talking about, right? Like, I could care less about football after something like that happened, something so tragic like that happened. Also, another thing happened, I heard right outside. I think it got denied a little bit later, but right outside like the Ben Chili Bowl area.
It was on that same street, on the same street, but he was at the Crab something.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's where he was at, and I was just like, I said, my God, I said, here we go, and then like, some people are like, oh, this franchise has a curse. I saw one of the people on there were trying to, they were trying to link it to Snyder. This is Snyder and Snyder. I'm like, for all Dan Snyder's demons, this has nothing to do with Dan Snyder. This was just a random act of stupidity,
15-year-olds,
violent, 15 and 17-year-old punks that are out here. I don't like to use the T word, but because the T word is usually can signify something else. But so I am not going to use that word. But yeah, I mean, it's awful, bro. It just damn.
Yeah, Star City.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure you have as well. Like, been in that area before. I mean, it's not. It's usually, at least when I've been there, it's usually safe and stuff. And I don't know. It's just crazy
man.
to hear something like that happen to a 23-year-old just named starting running back. And that point that you made about, Washington, dark clouds. I'm not gonna lie, we had I wouldn't say conversation, but there was a little. That sentiment was even though obviously we are DMVSportsZone, you guys get great takes. Not gonna lie, that was circulating in the group chats. I'm like, no, like I don't care. And you know me, Corey. You know how many times I'm just like you. I like to refer back to how this is the same old Washington. All this connects back to. That didn't even come across my head.
Yeah, that it made no sense. Like I just like that is the dumbest ass take that you could have on that. And we are not neither one of us are Dan Snyder fans. I think we have made that very clear. Far from it. From some of the commentaries that you've seen from Nati and myself. But to even throw that man's name up in there, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Like you want to say we losing players because they won't re-sign. Yes, that's a Dan Snyder thing. You can link that to Dan Snyder. Not some kid getting shot out, 23-year-old kid getting shot out here because he's got a nice car and everything. And he's trying to do his thing. And the boy lived in Alabama all his life, right? In Alabama, out there in Tuscaloosa, and Alabama's very different from DC. Very different. If you ever go to Alabama, Anna and I went this year, you try being an interracial couple in the South, the looks you get, just saying, the looks you get down there is completely different. And that boy survived that. That brother survived down there. And then he got to deal with some bull jive up in DC. Like that's what that I mean
new city.
I mean, I just think about it's crazy. Like I mean, like with the Virginia Tech shooting, right? And they had a Holocaust survivor in there. The man went through some of the worst torture humanly imaginable, and he gets shot teaching class in a classroom. Teaching students like those parallels. It blows my mind, man. And then it's another. I know you said hard 15. It's the people who, at the end of the day, they think nothing of people, but they think of inanimate objects. And I'll leave it at that. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And Zach Gill here with the question: did they at least catch people who did it? No, they're still on the list.
They've got images out of them now. They got images out of them now.
Most importantly, though, Brian Robinson looks like I saw him on crutches today, and with I think it was a cast but he looks good. He looks okay. He looks healthy, and that's all that matters.
He brought Randy Jordan the Orioles and Randy Jordan just coming up there and said, man, he said, boy, you're a sight for sore eyes and everything. And it was just and then he said, my mama told me to give these to you. I was just like, dude, that I mean that's something you need to go and watch when you're having a bad day. And it was beautiful. It was good. And kudos to them for sharing that with everybody. So thank God he's good, man. He's gonna make it out of it. And it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think, Corey, we're going to end it off there. We'll have plenty of time for football talk and everything down the road. But I appreciate you, Corey, bro, for coming on.
Thank you.
I guess, really quickly, actually, if you have any, give me, a bold prediction for the Commanders in 2022, because this is probably going to be the last time you're on before the start of the season.
The Commanders are going to be all right. They'll win 10 games. They always find a way. They always find a way to back in and do things. I think this team is. I think people are overlooking their focus, and I think they're playing for each other. I think that they have kind of put back the Jack Del Rio stuff, and they're trying to ignore the noise, like literally. And I think if anybody's been to training camp or OTAs, I think you can see that. But if you read stuff and how it's covered and everything, you don't see it. I think Washington wins 10 games this year. That's a one bold. That is one bold. That 4-0 one is bold. I think they will be a team better later than they are early. That's what that's what I'm thinking. Like I think they're going to hit their stride more late October, mid-November, and into early November, and I think that'll put them over the top. I'm not saying they're winning the division. I think that team in Philadelphia might have a little bit better outshot, even with probably the third best quarterback in the division.
You're really gonna end it off like that, bro? Come on, man. You know I don't have the time to rebut.
Here you go. That's why I'm doing it. Here you go. Jalen Hurts, the black Tim Tebow with a better arm.
All right, so I think the Commanders are going to make the playoffs. I'm going to completely disregard that take. I'll have more on that take in the coming videos soon to come on this channel. You guys know I disagree on that take, but Corey knows I don't have enough time to rebut because we got to sign up right now. But Corey, I appreciate you, bro, for coming on. Jalen Hurts, best quarterback, second best quarterback in the division, is going to be the best quarterback in 2022. But Corey, I appreciate you for coming on. It's always a great time, bro.
Yes,
I'm going to sign off there. Any last thing you want to say? Well, actually, no. Plug your channels and everything. Don't say anything else about the team, but go ahead.
Check out on the Warpath, St. Charles 405 on all social media platforms. Come on, ride with me. We're going to be doing a lot of live streams this year, Monday nights, Thursday nights, Sunday nights, all that good stuff. And like I said, we will see the black Tim Tebow, Jalen Hurts. We will see him with a better arm. We will see him twice this year.
Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the DMVSportsZone channel. We like to post fire content like this as much as possible. Also, go follow our Twitter page at DMVSportsZone, Instagram page, all lowercase DMVSportsZone, and our TikTok page as well. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great one. And just remember, stop hating.